Welcome back, everybody. This is Emberwood Bar Skyrim Modding Mini-Series Episode 3. I am Necrassin, as always. Got a lot of work done on this thing. It's starting to look pretty good. As you can see, we got a couple of statues out front here. I don't know what those shadows are, but we got a couple of statues out front here. When I looked at Micklegate, actually, let me throw up the picture of Micklegate. You can see those indentation areas. I wanted to replicate something like that. I don't know what those originally were for, but I've seen things like that before where they'll have statues kind of built into the wall. But I'm unable to do that. I can't put an indentation in this piece, which is why I had this piece out. This is actually a door frame. I was going to put that up there. I did. I tried using that. It's pushed down in the ground a little bit, but it wasn't looking very good. So I said, well, you know what? I'll just take the statue and push it back into the wall a little bit, and there we go. Those statues are from Sovngarde, and they are very, very, very big. These have been reduced. Remember I was talking about those tower pieces? The small one that I had up there was at 0.2. This is at 0.13, I think, which tells you how big these things are when they're at full size. So we got a couple of hanging braziers right here. There are some light sources. They are, I think, Draugr torch, non-shadow varieties. And these stone blocks that are sticking out from the wall right here and right here, these are what's called corbels. And the purpose of corbels is to hold things up. And that's what they're doing. They're holding up a statue, and they're holding up these braziers. These are kind of nice. There's another one that has a stone piece on the top here, but I couldn't get that to work and look good with the statue, so I built my own corbels. Okay, what else? I put in some retextured logs right here. This thing is called a portcullis groove. Now, with this one, the portcullis should extend all the way out to the wall, and it doesn't. And the reason it doesn't is because if I increase the size, it pushes up into the windows. So I can't go any bigger with it than that. And really, portcullis grooves are, well, it's a guide, so the portcullis will go where you want it to go. And it also acts like a door jamb, so you know, attackers won't be able to just grab it and pull it or push it out of the way. But they're usually built into the wall. But again, I can't put indentations in the wall, so I built them out. It's there to, you know, represent a portcullis groove more than being actually functional. I've not put them in on the back one here yet. I just want to put them on the front. And I repositioned the stone blocks here, so now our arrow slits are in the proper place. And I've covered all the gaps here on the ends. There's a great big column right here. It was a wooden column. I don't remember if it's from Dragon's Reach or the Temple of Kinnereth, possibly. But again, I retextured it, and because we have an interior wall and an exterior wall, those two one-sided pieces, so I needed to cap the ends here. And I put this arch piece in here. That one is from Solitude, I think. And put some stones across the top for the same reason. This wooden piece, well, it was a wooden piece. It doesn't have any textures on the top, so I had to cover that. And done the same thing over here. And here is our arrow slits. And by the way, not that it really matters, but they are functional. Of course, I just shot that one through the other window, so a little fratricide. So we've got a small gap up there. I don't have this hooked up yet for a teleport thing. That's something I still need to do. But I'll toggle collision and we'll go take a look at the upstairs. I removed some of the rocks and the bushes that were around here. I probably will get rid of that one too. And I talked about putting a tower back here, possibly right here. It's not something I've looked into yet. I'm trying to get the rest of the building done. And a lot of the work that I was doing was a lot of the slow, painstaking process. And that's, you can see the frames around the windows. And I've done that all the way around. Not down here. I put a piece in here to cover this one, the gap right here. But we've got the windows up there and the lower level and the upper level. And we've got windows on this side. And over on this side. So our windows are set. Now there may still be some little adjustments here and there. I may try a different texture or something, or I may try replacing the top pieces or the vertical ones. I kind of wanted to use this, a texture that was a little different than the rest of the stone. Just kind of separate the windows. It's also a little bit reminiscent of a lot of castles would use sandstone when they had to build, especially around like arrow slits, like these small ones here. Not necessarily windows, but sometimes there and sometimes around arrow slits. And if you look at, I think, is it Conway or Carnarvon? One of those. They use sandstone, so it's kind of like a medium to dark brown, and it's a softer stone, so it was easier to carve and shape it to build that frame around that window or arrow slit. And it has a nice I don't know, it has a nice look to it as well as being functional. So that's kind of what I'm trying to represent here, if that makes any sense at all. So anyhow, there's not much to see upstairs, but we'll go take a quick look. First of all, the lower level. So I had to reposition the windows here as well. They were a little bit too high. Let's see, am I want to make sure I'm not in the floor. It might drop me to the ground here. Okay. Yeah, see, this is a little better height. Head to knees. And this is where the crafting stations are going to be. It's not a big area, but it doesn't need to be. You know, I can fit everything in here. This is plenty enough room. And we've got some solid wood beams right there. I only have half the floor in for the upstairs. It's going to be a little bit easier to get the pieces in here to nav mesh this area if I don't have the next floor put in yet. But I want to put part of it in. But we've got some beams right here. They're more for aesthetics than to have an actual purpose. And we've got some stone blocks sticking out here and here. Again, corbels. They're supporting the beam. Same thing over here and over here. Just a little bit of architectural accuracy. Oh, look, I got a gap right there. I missed a spot. Doggone it. I thought I got it, everything. There was a lot of holes to fill because you've got an inside wall, an outside wall on all four sides. It was I thought I got everything, but if you look, you can see through the wall right there. So, I missed a spot. Oh well. Upper level, same thing. Windows in the same place. But they kind of have to be, because when you separate those wall pieces, you have a gap. If you want them to be lined up right, and you probably will, you're going to have a gap running all the way down the side of the building. So the windows are going to be on top of each other, which is fine. It makes it a little bit easier to get the pieces in place to plug the gaps, except for the one I missed down there, but we won't mention that one again. Alright, well, up here is going to be the living area. I actually considered extending this a little bit higher and putting in just like a half floor, make a loft for the sleeping area, but I don't think I'm going to do that. But the living area, I'm going to try and squeeze in a small fireplace in here, table, a few chairs, a bed, maybe a bookshelf, wardrobe, not much. I kind of see this place as a player home for someone that's probably running solo, which is what I'm going to be doing, or maybe with one follower. I could put an extra bed in here for a follower, though I'm not sure I'm going to do that, but I might be able to. This is not a very big area, but again, it's big enough. You can get everything that you really need in here and get all the crafting stations in right here. There's enough room. So I can't go too heavy with the clutter and the decorations, but there'll be a little bit in here, and I'll have all the appropriate useful items in here. I gotta cover this piece right here. See that hole? Look, you can see everything, man. The portcullis, the arch, is all my dirty work. And that's what it looks like from the back. Not much. It's kind of just a big rectangle. But it looks pretty good from this side. I may adjust these turrets a little bit. I may bring them out from the wall a little bit. I've been looking at some pieces to use for crenellations. I think I made a custom piece of, I think this one. Well, I think I got custom pieces of all these now. So I think I tried that piece and there's one of these. So I'm kind of iffy on that. So I'm going to keep looking, see if I can find something else that'll look a little bit better. But those are still a possibility. But the crenellation is going to be a little bit later on. I got to get the furniture and stuff in there first, and get a couple of light sources in there. And maybe I'll put something in here. Maybe I'll hang a little chandelier. That wouldn't really be very authentic, but it might look nice. So that is about where it's at for right now. So at this point, I got a few things that I need to fix and touch up, and then start adding the crafting stations, the furniture, a little bit of clutter, and do that on the first level. Probably nav mesh that, do the second level, nav mesh that, get the roof on it, crenellations, nav mesh around the ground area. That shouldn't be too difficult. We only have these two spots we have to adjust the nav mesh for. So let's see. Let's take a look at Micklegate again. See, Micklegate looks to me to be a little bit skinnier and a little bit taller. So I don't know. I really don't want to make it skinnier. That's going to complicate things, and I talked about that. I thought about adding another level on here, but it seems like it's going to be a little bit of a waste. But this looks pretty good as is. Hey, you know what? We need to see how this looks in the dark. Well, there we go. I like those light sources. It's got a nice slight orangish glow to them. Now I may add a couple of things here on the front. You know, Micklegate has, and a lot of castles will have a coat of arms on the front. So I was thinking of, trying to fashion something on here. I got a couple ideas. I think that's where we're going to leave it. Still got a little ways to go, but it's coming along real nice. So, yep, that's going to be it. All right. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I will see you in episode 4.